All right, good morning. It is Tuesday, May the 26th, 2026. We hope everyone had a nice weekend, a long weekend, of course, for Memorial Day weekend, as we remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. We had a great time seeing some of you at James Island County Park yesterday for a little client event. It's always nice just having that very informal event. Come show up, eat some pretty good pizza. You'll let the kids, grandkids kind of splash around out there. So really nice catching up with some of you yesterday. The weather cooperated, which is nice. This time of year, you never, although we need the rain, you're never quite sure when you're going to get the big downpour. But we hope everyone had a nice weekend. So markets this morning. All right, oil stabilizing a bit, which is nice. Yeah, I guess I've said this a lot, but I guess some talks again of a peace deal in the Middle East. So oil is reflecting that here this morning. Importantly, you also see the U.S. 10-year Treasury, that the yield's coming down. All right, so this morning, 4.48%, I see on my screen. Last week, you saw it approaching 4.7, like that's getting up there. All right, so, nice to see yields come back, oil come back a little bit here this morning. Equities higher, all right, so futures looking higher this morning, another week higher for equities last week as well. I read somewhere it's the 8th straight week higher for equity markets, which, I realize, that there's a lot of headlines going on in the Middle East and everywhere else, but and also just because it's not a super interesting narrative, but I really don't think enough places are giving it the attention it deserves. It's just like earnings season, which at the end of the day, that's what stocks are. You as a shareholder, you have a fractional claim to the future cash flows and profits of the businesses around the world, and this last quarter's earnings were just like beyond good, just really, really strong, which is, excuse me, in my opinion, just why you see a lot of this, the tailwind of markets moving higher that not a lot of people are talking about. So some really important inflation data we get on Thursday. All right, so we get the PCE inflation data this Thursday. Recall that is the Fed's preferred inflation metric. And why I think it's just particularly important this month is because last week with the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, and also the Producer Price Index were both higher than expected. All right, so kind of not what we like to see. And so it'll be just important to see that reading, again, the Fed's preferred metric, that PCE inflation data we received this Thursday, just to see if more of a confirmation from what we saw last week's data. The bond market will certainly be watching that economic release carefully. All right, one last little thing I wanted to point out. Some information being released on the SpaceX. All right, so they filed with the SEC. As of now, an IPO, the biggest ever IPO for mid-June. All right, so looking at close to perhaps a $2 trillion valuation on the IPO. I'm actually currently writing our next quarterly newsletter on this topic. So we'll see. It's a little bit tricky to write just because we're going to release that quarterly newsletter the beginning of July, right at the beginning of the quarter. We always send those out, and the IPO is supposed to happen in June. So just trying to provide some context, how we get involved with companies that are going public in our portfolios, and then just kind of a history of IPOs, kind of the price movement and where stocks tend to head after the IPO. So I'm working on that newsletter right now. Hopefully going to finish it today. But we'll certainly be talking about this more in the weeks ahead. Just it's going to be grabbing a lot of headlines, and biggest IPO in history, assuming all goes through. So With that being said, questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to our team. And we hope you have a wonderful week. Thanks.